To discuss solar power, its past and present, let's head to sunny Southern California. We're joined by John Perlin. He's in Santa Barbara. He's an historian on solar energy. He's the author of the book, Let It Shine, the 6,000-year story of solar energy. John, thanks so much for joining us. We can't cover all 6,000 years because it's an hour-long broadcast, but tell us about this lengthy history and the role that it's playing in terms of where we're going with solar energy.
Well, in the beginning, 6,000 years ago, the Chinese discovered how to scoop up sunlight in wintertime and how to avoid it in summertime by understanding the changing position of the sun. So that was the first evolution, was what we call solar architecture. Then the Romans learned that glass traps solar heat, and they used that concept to heat their bath water, because like us in California, we would revolt if we didn't have our hot tubs. And also it imitates global warming in that the glass allows solar radiation to come in, but holds in the subsequent solar heat.
It's interesting. You're bringing up China and the Romans dating back in time. Jessica's story kind of demonstrates the work that's still going on to make this energy source even more efficient. Why do you think it's taking so long, and is there a way to accelerate the process?
Well, first of all, we're talking about two different technologies. One is to use the heat of the sun. The technology that Jessica was speaking about is using the light of the sun. And this was discovered by Albert Einstein, that light not only travels in waves, but also carries particles called photons, which have a lot of energy that we can harvest.
You know, besides the efficiency factor, what would you say are the limitations of solar power? I mean, you mentioned it goes back to the times of the Chinese and the Romans, dates back several years. What are some of the limitations that people have run into when it comes to solar energy?
Well, first of all, efficiency. If you're talking about solar heat, collecting solar heat, because it's very low heat, is extremely efficient, like about 80% efficient. When you're talking about solar cells, which you're collecting, you're actually transforming sunlight into electricity, efficiency is actually a lot higher than they said on your program. We have solar cells that go up on roofs today that are at least 24% efficient, made by a company called SunPower, a very large company. The whole challenge is how to keep those photons into the solar panel, and then by capturing them, we can transform that sunlight, those photons, into electricity. And also, silicon is not scarce, as they said on Jessica's show, but it's the second most common element on the Earth. And so that's why silicon is so popular, is because of its robustness and also because of its abundancy. Basically, and we're in Santa Barbara, silicon is beach sand.
Let me ask you about global trends. What are you seeing globally when it comes to trends and solar power?
Well, globally, it's amazing because, as I show in my book, Let It Shine, back in 1980, there was only 1 megawatt installed of solar panels. Today, there are 200 gigawatts, or 200 billion watts, installed in the world. The leading country right now is China.
Very interesting. John Perlin with a little history lesson on solar energy for us, talking to us live from Santa Barbara. Can't thank you enough.